I remember this. Yeah, they can make you laugh. Ripken, the bat dog.
Oh, yeah, Ripken the bat dog.
Going after the bat. Proof of that.
They can also make you cry, though. If you've ever lost a dog, you can attest to that fact as well. Because there really is an emotional connection between man and man's best friend.
But let's dig a little deeper. Today, we're focusing on a dog's healing power. And we'd like to introduce to you Marshall Meraki. Marshall is a former Secret Service emergency response team operator with Special Operation Division and handler for Canine Hurricane, which is right here.
To his right, to your left, this is Brian. He's the Assistant Director of Maryland's Hogs and Heroes, joining us this afternoon. Guys, thanks for being with us.
Yeah,
we have got so many questions we want to ask you. First off, thank you both for your service.
Oh, thank you
for everything that you've done, continue to do. What we're talking about is US Kennels. Talk to us about US Kennels and the mission.
US Kennels is a nonprofit training dogs for veterans with needs. They are also saving dogs' lives by finding dogs that meet the mission that are donation dogs, typically shelter dogs, training them for stability dogs for veterans who are injured. When this was brought to my attention, we were looking originally at a dog food donation. As we started going through the Rolodex and calling people, so many people saw the importance of this mission that it turned into a TV episode. A pallet full of dog food, presenters wanting to come in, Marshall wanting to bring Hurricane in and show him to people, to draw people into, identify the need that US Kennels had. Everybody in the community, the canine community, just sees this as such an important thing to give back to the veterans and help move US Kennels forward in providing dogs to these veterans.
Yeah. Now, Marshall, Marshall,
Yes.
I want to talk, Hurricane. I want to talk a little bit about Hurricane, because Hurricane is a perfect example of a dog that has served our country well. The medal has a medal to prove it.
Yep, so Hurricane's very special. 2014, he stopped an individual coming over the fence at the White House with the president and the first family right inside. So he was willing to put his life down on the line. He got into a very intense battle with the individual who jumped the fence. He got hurt pretty severely. We had to take him to the emergency room that night. He was up and working again the next day. But to have that bond, to see what your partner is willing to do for you, no different than anyone who has a dog at their house, an intruder comes in, the way they protect you, it's a very, very special experience that I got to have.
As kind of a sidebar, can I ask about the medal in his mouth and the medal around his neck?
So, sure, two separate things. The medal in his mouth, he has titanium teeth to do the teeth breaking off and cracking from
stopping
biting.
the intruder.
Yep, correct. And the medal around his neck is the PDSA Order of Merit. It's the British equivalent OBE. So it was very special. They gave it to him at Parliament in 2019, and he's the first U.S. dog to receive the Order of
So he's
Merit.
like a knighted dog.
That's correct.
Knighted
Yeah, it's pretty
dog.
special.
That is amazing. Now, you as his handler, how safe did you feel knowing you had Hurricane on your side?
So I mean, it's an amazing feeling. You know you have a partner who is willing to do anything, like I said, even lay his life down if he had to. He doesn't know he's at the White House. He doesn't know president's right inside with the family. He thinks he's protecting me. He doesn't know he's stopping that guy from getting to the front door. He knows I'm not going to let that guy get to you. It's just an incredible bond, and that's why we do all the work we do with charities now, try and team up dogs with vets, and we do all kinds of stuff. We get bulletproof vests for dogs, pay for dogs' medical care. We use Hurricane's name to help other dogs, his brothers and sisters out there, spread the word.
Yeah.
Brian, how does it feel to be able to do this? Does it feel like at least you're sort of paying back a little bit for everything that the dogs like Hurricane have?
Absolutely, and we talk a lot about the dogs, but you'll never hear Marshall talk about himself. It'll always be about Hurricane. Hurricane's a great pet at home, having fun. Without his skill, without his talent, without his passion. That's what Hurricane is. It takes a handler, it takes somebody who has that passion and skill as well, but they never talk about themselves. They only talk about their dog. And you put that team together, they're able to do amazing things with the two of them. Handlers always go first. The dogs always respond to the most dangerous calls. The handlers and the dogs always lead the way. And it takes a special person to send something that you care about so much forward every single evening. Knowing he may not come home, but he's taking care of the people standing with you so that they can go home to their families. It's an incredible bond that they have, and it's an incredible commitment that those handlers make to the people that they work with by doing that and sending those dogs forward.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about this because it's fascinating, and talk about the event you have coming up after the break. Delmarva Life, we'll be right back.
Sure, you remember Canine Hurricane and the two humans of his that are hanging out with him this afternoon. Allow us to introduce to you again, this is Marshall, this is Hurricane's handler, and this is Brian with the Maryland, give me your title again, make sure you
Maryland Assistant Director of Hogs and Heroes Foundation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're putting together this event that's coming up. Tell me real quick about what's going on.
October 9th at Patriot Point. Patriot Point will be hosting an event in support of US Kennels. We will have presenters. Marshall and Hurricane will be presenting their story, and then we'll have a demonstration by Ocean City Police Department of their canine unit. And then we're going to have a local spice of the Eastern Shore Retriever Club will be showing how the retrievers are handled as part of hunting, water as well as on land. So it's just going to be a great celebration of dogs while donating dog food to US Kennels for their mission. And Kinetic Dog Food, who is donating that dog food, will also be coming in the day before to shoot a TV episode for Canine Unleashed on the Pursuit Channel to highlight in support of their mission. And then at Patriot Point, when they come in on October 9th, they'll be shooting that event as well for the TV show and capturing the presentations as well as the demonstrations and promoting Patriot Point as well.
Sounds like a day full of very interesting content. How does Hurricane do at these kind of events?
So he loves them now. Since he's been retired a few years, this is what. About once a month, I take out the Superman cape and put it on. So a day like today, this is, where he gets all his energy from. He'll sleep for a week after this. These big events, he loves it. He loves the attention. He loves people.
And what breed? I'm sitting here. He's Black Lab.
So he's a Belgian Malinois, which is in the German Shepherd family. He just has a little bit shorter hair, and they're much faster, specifically for people running across the north grounds of the White House.
Very handy.
It's definitely a skill that we like to have. So
when he jumped the fence and essentially saved the president and his family, did he get a reward?
Well, so against our policy, I may or may not have stopped at McDonald's on the way home and got him a couple cheeseburgers. I waited till I was retired to come out and say that. And,
but it may not have happened.
Yeah, I cannot confirm or deny.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And Hurricane's not talking.
He's not talking.
So that was one of those. We took him back from the emergency room. Brought him in there. We had to have his muzzle on. He's got the cuts and bruises all over him right away. The vets came up to him, and he rolled right over onto his belly. Just after coming out of a battle. It's crazy how they can turn it on and off like that.
How about
but,
that?
I had to reward him on the way home from work. So that's my one story that I waited till retirement to let out.
Well, thank you again for your service, and it's October 9th.
If I can just add in there, we looked. There's a lot going on in the area October 9th. So we decided to have Marshall and Chris present twice. So you can catch another event and you can still come out and catch us in either the morning or the afternoon and still have your day doing other things that are going on in the area.
What a great idea.
And we'll have it all on our website, all the information, the wheres and the whens, so you can go hear those stories and see Hurricane, right? Royalty.
Yes, he sure is. He sure is.
Marshall, Brian, thank you so much for coming in today. And Hurricane, thank you.
He's happy too.